This woman writes, call him out or let it go. Advice, please. Hey, all, I've been in a couple of dates with this guy. I like him and I think he likes me. Last day he came over, cooked for me, and stayed over. The day he left, he was then going away for a few days. So we had a few texts that day, and the last one I sent, I asked if he arrived safely as the drive was long. That was Friday. He didn't text again until Tuesday. Yeah, I would let it go. If this is your whole situation, I'd let it go. I mean, he's on a trip. You've only been on 2 dates. You're not exclusive. I'd let it go. So I had already resigned myself that I was being ghosted. It's like, don't think that, you know? So it's like, what belief do you have already that is causing you to think this? It's like if the two first dates went really well and then he says, oh, I'm going on a trip, and then you text him and he doesn't text you back on when he's already communicated to you that he's on a trip. You know, maybe he's busy, maybe he's focused on his trip, maybe he doesn't want to just chit chat, maybe he's got a serious mission that he's doing, you know. It's like I went on a flight over to Texas for the weekend for like a business meeting. It's like I wouldn't want to be texting women during that meeting because I've got a mission, I've got to focus. I'm there to make contacts, make leads, get business cards, and get known. And so like I can't be wasting time, you know, just texting, hey, what are you doing? Oh, trip's going good. Even though it's like, yes, I still care for those people. It's like, man, I got my mission, and you know, you have to know that I do care about you, but man, I got to do what I got to do here. And so I'm going to put you aside, you know, even if it's, you know, I'm going to basically put you aside as far as texting you back. And I might send you one maybe at the end of the day or just something quick, but I can't be in these conversations with you because I've got a purpose here, and I've got to get that done no matter what. And so it's like, from your perspective, also, if you blow up on him for not texting you back, what's his reaction going to be? Is like, okay, I've been on 2 dates with this woman, and now she's blowing up on me because I told her I was on a trip and I didn't text her during my trip that I told her I was going to be on. It's like, okay, yeah, I think I'm going to, you know, move on to somebody else. But what it communicates is that your beliefs towards relationships or your beliefs towards men are probably somewhat negative, or at least some of your beliefs towards relationships and men are negative. Or maybe it's maybe towards yourself, that maybe you're thinking that you're not good enough is a common one you'll see. Or you've had like people cheat or people ghost you, which was your reference. That's probably more likely. You've had people ghost you, that hurt. And so now you don't want that to happen again, but now you're looking for this happening again. It's like, it's funny how that works when we get pain associated to something. But regardless, it still is a negative belief towards relationships and will cause you problems if you take action from this feeling. He apologized for not texting and asked how the weekend was. I haven't written back yet. Now you're doing passive aggressive stuff. So he's on this trip, doesn't text you back, but then he texts you back and he says, well, I'm sorry for not texting, and asks how the weekend was. So he's busy, and then he texts you maybe at the end of the day, and then you don't even write him back. It's like, that's manipulative. That's really bullshit, you know. My question is, would you call him out and say about the late text? Hell no. It's like, seriously? To be honest, I don't think I will, and I can't be bothered. You might be a little bothered writing this whole post about this situation, because otherwise you just let it go and not even think about it. I assume now he put me on a slow fade. You're assuming way too much. The guy's probably just busy on the trip that he communicated he was going on, you know. But he still wants to sleep with me. It's like you're putting way too much into this. Because he probably hasn't thought about all this manipulation and, oh, I'm doing this slow fade and I'm just out to sleep with this girl. He's like, dude, I'm on this business trip or whatever, or I'm with my buddies on this trip, and that's what I'm focused on. He might not even thought twice about the situation. Normally it wouldn't be a huge deal, but cooking dinner for someone is pretty intimate. Chill. chill. And we had been texting every day for the 2 weeks we have been hanging out. I am overly sensitive to changes in communication. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I mean, that's evident. But at the same time, it upset me, and now I just feel like an option to him. Maybe you're not right now. Your mindset isn't suitable for a long-term committed relationship or an exclusive relationship. Because the way you're really showing up isn't going to be healthy. And so it's like you're going to find ways to get upset. And that's not really going to work. And it's changed my thoughts, and I feel less interested. In my situation, if you said that, it's like blowing up on me for not texting you back when I told you I was on this trip. And you're saying, well, I'm less interested. You're like, I probably wouldn't even respond to you, and maybe never again. I'd be just like, okay, chill, see you later. And just move on to somebody else. After 2 dates, not really a big connection, and you're already blowing up on me, or already saying like, I'm losing my interest in you, kind of like almost like threatening you to not, well, threaten you that you have to go text back. It's like, I don't want to put up with that bullshit. We've had some spirited discussions already, and he knows I have strong opinions. So now you're already starting arguments this soon. It's like, yeah, this isn't going to work for you. Especially if you find somebody that has the confidence to really succeed in relationships, or that has succeeded in the past, or actually knows what they're doing. It's like, well, when they know they have those skills, they're going to recognize these things in you, and this needy, insecure, fearful, controlling behavior, and they're just going to walk away from you. So maybe this is more of a trust your gut and don't say anything, but be wary thing. I don't know. I just know that I don't like it, and it's changed my feelings. I'm 39 and am dating with finding a partner in mind. Yeah, maybe you're taking it way too serious. And so you're 39. Usually you see like women in their early 30s, even late 20s, wanting to settle down. And maybe you feel a lot of pressure on yourself now that you're 39 and you're looking to get a partner because you don't want to be alone. And that can be hard because it's like, well, I mean, obviously you don't want to be alone, but then it's like if you put too much pressure on somebody and basically have the mindset, it was like, oh, is this guy the one that's going to settle down with me, and just putting a bunch of pressure, and oh, he has to do this and this and this, and this is going to be my pressure thing. It's just like he's going to feel that, and he's not going to really want to stay around. It's like he just wants to have fun, and if you put too much pressure and put too many rules on him and try to control him and freak out on him when he goes on trips, it's not going to attract him. And oftentimes that comes from just really overanalyzing the situation, because sometimes you put too much importance on it. And that might be the case with you probably wanting to settle down with somebody long term. I push anything that isn't right. Okay, some typo, but maybe I will push anything that isn't right, or won't, I don't know. But I also don't want to be dicked around and feel that I am being. Thanks for reading. Yeah, I think you're just putting too much pressure on yourself, on him. It just seems like you've really thought about, oh, I need a partner in life, because it's like I'm getting to a stage where, I'm getting older, where not quite at the point where you can't have kids or anything, but it's like it's closing that gap. And oftentimes, like, women sometimes around that age feel that pressure. But it's like if you use that pressure that you're feeling and act out of that and put it on your partner, it's like he's not really going to he's not going to feel comfortable with it. And so your question was, do you take any action? Well, you already took action. So he texted you later. After you texted him, he didn't text you back right away. And now you are ghosting him on purpose. It's like, text him back. It's like, don't play those games. That's ridiculous. The only time you really want to play those games, and when they're really useful and necessary, is to figure out what that person's beliefs are. So it's like sometimes after the first date, you will do something like that, like um, just like not message her after about 3 days. It's not about ignoring the other person or like that. It's like if she reaches out before those 3 days, then you set a date. But it's like you just kind of take your time afterwards and take about 3 days. And then after 3 days of no contact after your first date, then you call her up. And what that does is if she's like freaking out on you, like potentially what this woman would do, and she's like, why didn't you text me for 3 days, or why didn't you contact me for 3 days? And she's all upset at you. What it conveys and really brings out is that she has negative beliefs towards relationships or towards men. And so it's like you don't really want to pick women like that. And choosing is one of the biggest um half the battle, if you will. Choosing the right partner is so huge and so important. And so it's like if you, back to that example of, waiting a few days, 3 days, then it's like if you call her up and she's excited to hear from you and she's ecstatic and she seems totally interested in you. And those are the people you want to be with, because it's like oftentimes those women, it's like they have beliefs that are positive towards relationships. And when they have those, it's like it just makes it so much easier. But again, from her question, I would say do not blow up on this guy, especially since he has communicated this beforehand that he's going on a trip. Don't be passive aggressive. And do your best to just kind of cool it down as far as putting too much importance on locking some guy down, because you'll overthink it. And when you overthink it, you sometimes become too attached. And then you start acting out of that in ways that really just kind of freak the other guy out, or put way too much pressure on him to the point where you're freaking out on him or punishing him or being passive aggressive towards him, and he just leaves you. So relationship fundamentals, all this stuff's mainly designed for men, but it's like for women, you can reverse engineer it. And a lot of women just don't know why specifically they're attracted to men. So it can give you some insights in that as well. But also it gives you insights on, for both men and women, on how to communicate, how to solve problems. And you really, how to make the other person feel in relationships. But yeah, again, fundamentals down below, description, that's free, and then the other ones are paid. And so yeah, just click that link and it'll take you right through there.